Welcome back, guys, to another great video where I show you 5 more hidden gems on the NES. 5 games that I believe deserve to see the light for those of you who may not even know these exist. So let's get started. Starting off with Orchestras Ring. You're set in a world of fantasy where an evil villain named Shogun has stolen the elven ring of Orchestra and used it to send the elven kingdom into a world of monsters and darkness. So the elven kingdom hired their bravest warrior to go retrieve the ring. You play as a female elf named Christine, armed with her trusty longbow and arrows to travel across the lands, killing the monsters and retrieving the ring. This is actually a really good game, and I would definitely suggest it as like a starting point if you're wanting to get into like Legend of Zelda per se. Like, let's say that your kid wants to get into Legend of Zelda, and we all know how difficult and widespread that game is. This would be a nice introduction to that. It has a similar feel, and the game itself isn't too hard. It's basically a maze full of monsters. You kill all the monsters, collect a key, and use that key to move on to the next level. Definitely worth the play. Next, we have Felix the Cat. And the main premise of this game is that Felix's girlfriend Kitty was kidnapped by a mad, evil professor. So now Felix has to travel across 9 worlds to find her and rescue her. The game itself is pretty simple. The enemies mainly walk back and forth. They don't do anything too crazy. But the game still has a nice feel and is really nostalgic for a lot of people. One of the awesome features of this game is the upgrades of abilities. Each time you get a heart, you get a new power, per se. And each one's different. And a lot of them are vehicles, like this one, that you attack by honking a horn and killing your enemies. There's also some cool things in here that reminds me of some Super Mario kind of levels. And what I mean by this is that, like, if you're able to jump up into this bag, it'll take you to a hidden bonus level kind of thing, where you can get extra points and another upgrade. And each upgrade is wacky in its own right. If you're able to get your hands on this game, it's definitely worth playing it and loads of fun, no matter how simplistic it may seem. Next we have Kirbys Funhouse. And the plot of this game is that Kirbys Funhouse is overran by mice, so he enlists Bart and Homer to eradicate the problem. The game itself is just one big maze, and you can't fully complete a level without collecting all the items by breaking up these blocks. The main point of the game is to go through this maze, collecting one block to be able to lead the rats into their untimely death. And once you're finished, you leave the level and go into the next room. And the whole game is huge. It has so many levels. You have hours of puzzles to work on. And each level gets more and more difficult. The mazes get a little bit more difficult. And you have to be a little bit more strategic on how you're placing that one block to be able to get the rats to the area you need to take them to get them killed. Or should I say euthanized? Sometimes you need to use the block to cover, pipes that the rats will fall right into and go back to the beginning of the level. The game can be at times frustrating and time consuming, but overall it's a good game. The next game on the list is also the most expensive game on this list, where some places are asking more than $400 for it, and that is Fire and Ice. It's the sequel to Solomon's Key, and it's one big puzzle game. You're using ice blocks to put out fires. And it can be simplistic at first, but the further you go along, the more difficult they get. Like this level, for instance, you have this big floor of fire below you, and it's slowly rising up as you're trying to make your way up to the top. But you can't complete the level unless you destroy all the flames, right? So you have to strategically go around placing your ice blocks to put out these fires in order to survive. And a lot of the time, it's a lot of trial and error until you get it right. It is a good game if you're into puzzle games, so it's definitely worth a try. Finally, we have Uninvited, and this game is an awesome game to play at night, in the dark, by yourself on Halloween night. You venture into this old mansion to find your sister. And this place is haunted by all kinds of spirits and demons. The place is pretty much cursed. A sorcerer once lived there with all of his followers, and some of his apprentices were murdered. It's a point and click kind of game I'm not too big on, but this is definitely one that I'd love to play every Halloween. And one wrong move or decision will lead you to your ultimate death. And the description that they add to this when you die is hilariously just messed up. And it's hard to imagine, a kid reading this in the dark by themselves. As somebody who personally is not fond of point and click games, I'm okay with this one. This one is entertaining. It's definitely a game that would keep you on edge. And if you're able to get your hand on this game, I definitely suggest you try to play it. Just the challenge alone on trying to find your way out of this place is enough for hours of entertainment. Alright guys, that is 5 more hidden gems on the NES. If you think that I missed any games that deserve to be on this list, comment them down below for another video. And comment any other game suggestions you have for reviews or more top 5s, so I can make good videos of what you want to see. And hey look, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. Share this video, and until next time, play games. Catch you later.